In this video, we're going to have a look at how we use the quadratic formula to find the roots of a quadratic when we've got the quadratic in the format of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now, to do that, we can use the quadratic formula where x is going to be equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So, how do we do it? Well, let's consider the quadratic here of x squared plus 4x, take 4 equals 0. Our first step is to make sure that this quadratic is equal to 0, which it already is, and it's in the format of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, which once again it already is. So our second step then is to identify what our a value, our b value and our c value are going to be. So here, our a value is the pronumeral to our x squared, which here is equal to 1. Our b value is going to be the pronumeral to our x, which is going to be positive 4. And our c value is the constant at the end, which here is equal to negative 4. Once we've got that, we substitute our a, b and c values into the quadratic formula. So our x is going to be equal to the negative of b, which is going to be negative 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 4 squared, minus 4 times our a value of 1, multiplied by our c value of negative 4. And that is all going to be divided by 2 times our a value of 1. So now, once I've got this, I simplify it. So we know that 2 times 1 is going to be 2. So this first part is going to be negative 4 divided by 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared, which is 16, subtract 4 times our 1, which is 4, times our negative 4, which is negative 16. So subtract negative 16, which is the same as adding 16. And that is going to be divided by 2 times our 1, which is 2. Now I start simplifying this even further. So negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2, plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 16, which is 32, divided by our 2. Once I've got to here, I now look at this surd here and look at, can it be simplified any further? In this case, I notice that it has a factor of 16. So this can be simplified by going, it's negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 16 multiplied by 2, all divided by 2. Now the square root of 16 is 4, so this is going to be equal to negative 2 plus or minus 4 root 2 over 2. Now I can notice that 4 divides by 2 twice, so this is equal to negative 2 plus or minus the 2 root 2. And now I've got this in simplest form. So therefore my x has 2 solutions, which is equal to negative 2 plus or minus 2 root 2. So what we need to do here was make sure that we've got it equal to 0 in this format. Once we do that, we substitute our values for a, b and c into the formula. From there we then simplify it until we've got it to the surd, and then we look to simplify the surd till we get to our most simplest form. But let's take a look at another example. Let's consider the quadratic 2x squared minus 10x is equal to negative 1. Our first step is to make sure that we've got it equal to 0. Here it's not equal to 0, so to make it equal to 0 we've got a plus 1 to both sides. So this is going to be 2x squared subtract 10x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now we've got it in the same format as the ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So what we do now is identify what our a, our b and our c values are. So here our a, or the pronumeral to x squared, is equal to 2. Our b, or the pronumeral to x, is equal to negative 10. And our c, or our constant value, is equal to 1. Now we've got this, we substitute these back into the formula. So x is going to be equal to the negative of b, which is going to be positive 10 here, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so minus 10 squared, subtract 4 times our a value of 2, multiplied by our c value of 1. And this is all going to be divided by 2 times our a value of 2. So now we simplify this. So this is going to be equal to 10 divided by 2 times 2, which is 4, plus or minus the square root of negative 10 squared, which is 100, subtract 4 times 2, which is 8. 8 times 1 is going to be 8, so subtract 8. And this is all divided by 2 times 2, which is 4. Next, we simplify this. So 10 over 4 simplifies to 5 over 2, plus or minus 100 take 8 is 92, so it's root 92 divided by 4. From here, we look to see whether we can simplify this surd. In this case, I notice that it has a factor of 4. So this is equal to 5 on 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 multiplied by 23, all divided by 4. From here, we continue to simplify this down. So this is equal to 5 on 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 is 2, so 2 root 23 divided by 4. Now 2 on 4 cancels further down, so this is equal to 5 over 2 plus or minus 1 root 23, or just root 23 on 2. And from here, it's now in simplest form. So therefore, our x value has two solutions of 5 on 2 plus or minus root 23 on 2. So when we're solving quadratics, the first thing we have to make sure we do is to make sure the quadratic is equal to 0 and is in the format of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Once we've done that, we then identify the a, the b and the c values of our quadratic, and we substitute these values into the quadratic formula. From there, you simplify and continue simplifying that quadratic formula until you get your final solutions in simplest form.